Hello students and welcome again. And if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you have watched the entire video on cyclotron. That means especially that the charge when projected with the velocity perpendicular to the field moves in a circular path. So if you have seen that video of mine or you know about this topic, then this video is going to help you. What we are going to learn today is we are going to learn, okay, what if that I want to project. So suppose what I'm saying here is this. Suppose this is my magnetic field, correct? This is my magnetic field and this is how I'm projecting the charge. So in that case we saw that it experiences the force B cross B in the upward direction, so it moves in a circular path like this. This is how what we saw, okay? It moves in a circular path like this. But what if I instead of projecting perpendicularly, what if I make some angle to it? Let's see what happens now, okay? So I am going to provide velocity to the charge at some angle with the magnetic field, and then I will see what thing happens in this. So for that I will not take the field inward because I won't be able to justify anything. So what will I do here is this. This is my magnetic field. Okay, earlier what was happening was this, and this was the charge. So V cross B, so the charge start moving in a circular path. This was the diagram which represents this. Both are same. Both are same. Okay, it moves in a circular path. Same. So right now this velocity and this magnetic field makes an angle of 90 degree. And so if this is my magnetic field, this is my velocity V cross B. V cross B. So it will experience a force like this. So this will move in a circular path like this. Okay, circular path like this. Okay. If I start rotating, it will be like this. If I start rotating, so this one, this one, this one, this one, this one are same. It's just the way you see it, okay, that is not important. Now why I wanted you to have this view, because this view gives a clear idea now. So suppose I am providing this velocity V over here at an angle of theta. I am providing velocity V at an angle of theta. So if I have to resolve this velocity into two components, I have this as V sin theta and I have this as V cos theta. Correct? Which component is perpendicular to magnetic field? Answer is V sin theta. Which component is parallel to magnetic field? Answer is V cos theta. V cos theta will not experience any force. It is the V sin theta which is going to experience the force to the charge. So the V sin theta is basically perpendicular to the magnetic field. So the centripetal force will be provided by V sin theta part. mv square by r is equal to BQV sin theta. So one of this V sin theta will get cancelled out. The remaining is mv sin theta divided by r is equal to BQ. So you will get the value of r as mv sin theta divided by BQ. How much time will it take to rotate one rotation? So for one rotation it will be 2 pi r divided by the velocity with which it is moving in a circle, and the velocity with which it is moving in a circle is v sin theta. So that is equal to 2 pi divided by v sin theta into r. R is how much? R is mv sin theta divided by BQ. So V sin theta will get cancelled out, and we are back to the same equation, 2 pi mvq. Nothing has changed. No, a great thing has changed. We are still forgetting V cos theta now. Now let's try to bring it, the V cos theta. Now what has happened here is this. Now this fellow will rotate because of V sin theta, but because of V cos theta, it will move up. So basically my rotation will be like this. This is called helical path. So this is the motion of the charged particle. Because of V cos theta, it will go up. This is called pitch. Understand pitch. Let us say it starts from here, correct? So it will rotate. Let us say it starts from here. What is visible to you? Okay, say that it starts from here. Okay, now this is starts from here, the charge, and this is my charge. Where is my charge? This is my charge. This is my charge. So this charge moves in a circle. At the same time, it goes up. So this is completing one rotation. Correct? Start. This is half rotation. At the same time, going up. Correct? So this gap is called pitch. Pitch. P-I-T-C-H. P-I-T-C-H. Okay. How will you find this pitch? This pitch I can now find as, now this pitch is because of whom? This pitch is because of V cos theta, the one which is parallel to the magnetic field. Correct? Multiply by how much time? How much time it takes to complete one rotation? That time of 2 pi m. So multiplied by 2 pi m divided by dq. That's the answer. This is the value of pitch. Instead of V cos theta and V sin theta, I request you understand this entire topic as V perpendicular and V parallel. Okay, because theta can cheat you, theta can betray you. What if I change this theta to this theta with the horizontal? See, the entire thing changed. Sin becomes cos, cos becomes sin. But logic will not change, because if I change this theta from here to and make this as theta, then the V cos will come here. So everywhere this will be V cos, and V cos is still perpendicular to magnetic field. Now who is parallel? Parallel is V sin now. Okay. So if I consider that this angle is theta, so this becomes V sin theta, which becomes parallel to magnetic field, and this becomes V cos theta, which becomes perpendicular to magnetic field. So the logic is this: the perpendicular component is one which is responsible for the circular movement, and the parallel component of the magnetic field, the velocity is magnetic. The parallel component of velocity, which is parallel to magnetic field, is responsible for this upward movement called pitch. Okay, it will create a pitch effect. So parallel component responsible for pitch and perpendicular component responsible for circular motion. Time period does not change. I want to modify this further. I want to change this question to a next level now. And how am I going to change? I hope you have taken a note of this. Right now I am not blocking the screen. Pause and make a note. Thank you. Now let us say I want to slightly change the question. So this is my magnetic field. Now let us say this is a plus q charge, and I want to provide a velocity. Okay, general. I'll talk a general case. So this angle is theta. So this becomes your V sin theta, and this becomes your V cos theta. See, everything remains same. So time period will still be 2 pi m by dq. This will not change. Don't worry about that. This will not change. Time period will be equal to 2 pi m by divided by dq. So this is V sin theta now that we saw. The whole thing will remain same. Now what is the new thing about this question is, with the magnetic field I am also switching on an electric field. I am also switching on the electric field. Now what will this electric field will do? Now if it is a plus charge experience force in the direction of electric field. This is how you have to think. It's a plus charge. It has an initial velocity of V cos theta in the upward direction. It is also experiencing a force of Q times of E. A force of Q times of E in the direction of electric field. So as a whole, because of this entire thing, the velocity along the line parallel to magnetic field will keep on increasing. So because of that, what happens? Look at here, what happens? See. This will not go from here. This will like this only. Okay, agriculture. So this one, this time period will, this pitch 1, and if I compare this pitch 1 as pitch 2, pitch 1, pitch 2. I hope this part is visible. Okay, right here. So which pitch will be more? This pitch will be less, this pitch will be more. Why? Because this velocity is increasing. Correct? So in these cases like this, your pitch will increase. Okay, good. What will happen if I switch on the electric field in the opposite direction? Answer it. If I switch on the electric field in the opposite direction, that means the QE force will act opposite to V cos theta. Retardation, deceleration. In that case, the pitch will decrease. Correct? So this is what the electric field does to the pitch. It accelerates, it creates a bigger pitch. If the electric field and the velocities are in the same direction, and if the electric field and the accelerations are in the opposite direction, it reduces the pitch. Okay. This is one concept we just come across. Second thing which we need to know is this. Now we know that the radius r, do remember the radius r, is given by mv by bq. This is what the radius was, the formula for radius, mv by bq. Now, I have 3 questions to be discussed. Question number 1. That is the radius for that magnetic field, for that charge, for that mass, for that velocity. Now, what if I have a magnetic field which is not sufficient enough for it to complete the circle? Just imagine like this. I am releasing a charge from here, so it moves in a circular path. This is my velocity, magnetic field is inside the board. Come to the basic fundamentals. Velocity, forget this part. Now the velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular. The velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular, correct? So this is my magnetic field and this is my velocity, perpendicular. And we know that this is moving in a circular path which makes a radius of r. Okay? Now in this case, just in this same case, what if I rub this much of magnetic field? I am not providing that much of magnetic field at all. Insufficient amount of magnetic field. Now what will happen? So I am providing this velocity over v over here. So what will happen? It will move in a circular path like this. This magnetic field over here. And then it will come out. As simple as that. If you don't give me magnetic field, I will not rotate. If you give me magnetic field, I will rotate. No magnetic field, no rotation. So what has happened? It was going like this, takes a turn and then goes out. We have changed the direction of charge. We have changed the direction of charge. We cannot change normally. We cannot take a charge like this and put it on the wall and then it rebounds back. No. This is the best possible way to change the direction of charge. This is your velocity v. How much time will it take? How much time will it take? Half the time to rotation. So if I have to find time spent in the magnetic field region t dash, how will I find? This will be equal to pi r, because half perimeter, not 2 pi r. 2 pi r is full perimeter. Pi r is half perimeter divided by velocity. Velocity is how much? V, and that is equal to p mv divided by vq divided by v. So v gets cancelled out. It is half of the time period. If you remember, half of the time period. Okay, so full time period was 2 pi m by pq, and we are getting half of the time period. This is question number 1. Okay, this is 1. Second question. Okay, pause the video and note down. Okay, now second question. In second question, suppose this is again a magnetic field over here, and now I am providing the velocity in this direction. Earlier it was like this, now it is like this, such that it makes an angle of theta. So if you move in a circle, and will come out move in a circle and will come out like this. This is velocity. Okay. And the symmetry says that this will be also at an angle of theta. This will be also at an angle of theta. But this is not a semicircle. If I have to find the circle, where is the center of the circle, we know that velocity is always tangential. A radius and a tangent. So if I draw a perpendicular on the velocity, basically I am drawing a tangent and velocity. Suppose if this is my circle over here, this is my velocity and this is my, I am just drawing a perpendicular. Okay, so let me draw a perpendicular. And then let me draw another perpendicular. Wherever they intersect, so let us say there is one more velocity over here. And let us draw this. So wherever they intersect, that has to be a center. Okay, maths. So this is my center. So if this angle is theta, this angle is 90, so this becomes 90 minus theta. This becomes 90 minus theta. So this becomes 2 theta. Check your calculation. Okay, let me check mine first. Yes, 2 theta. This will be 2 theta. Okay. So everything remains same. So now how much I will find the time now? How much time it will take to spend? See, those who are still buffered with how this becomes 2 theta. Remember I said this angle is 90. So this angle becomes 90 minus theta. So this becomes 90 minus theta. Same, this angle becomes 90 minus theta. Now sum of this angle plus this angle plus this angle must be 180. Use that logic, you will get this angle to be 2 theta. Okay. So T dash will be equal to the R divided by velocity. Now what is this R? This arc is this arc. This is the arc which it is going to subtend. Now that arc must be equal to, how to find the length of an arc? Arc length is always equal to theta multiplied by radius divided by velocity. This theta must be in terms of radian. Those who don't know this formula, arc equal to theta is equal to, theta equals to r by radius. I hope you remember this formula. So arc will be is equal to theta multiplied by radius. Theta must be in radian, not in degree. So what is radius here? Now if you put the value of radius, radius is where is my radius? Radius was if I am correct, it was mv by dq divided by this velocity over here. This velocity gets out. So T dash will be is equal to, okay, sorry. What is the angle here? Angle subtended, this R is subtending an angle of 2 theta. So here the formula is correct, but at the angle, how much angle it is subtending? Subtending an angle of 2 theta. So it becomes 2 theta. Okay? Because this is the angle. So for this angle, this was the R. So for theta angle, if this is the R, so for 2 theta, okay, I will not trouble this. You have understood, am I right? The angle itself is 2 theta. So this radius, this arc length will be with respect to this 2 theta. So 2 theta multiplied by r is equal to radian divided by velocity. So T dash will be is equal to, better I will change the formula only. So if this is my r, because I know some of my students are very intelligent. So this is your arc length, this angle is beta, this angle is radius. So beta will be is equal to r by radius. Okay? Done. Okay. So T dash will be is equal to 2 theta into m divided by dq. Okay? Third question. These are all magnetic field. These are all magnetic field. Okay? Half of my ink is getting out of the magnetic field. Okay. Now it was like this. Now it is like this. So it will move for a longer time. path like this and will come out like this. So the way, let us say this is my acute angle. So if I consider this angle to be theta, so this angle will be also equal to theta, the acute angle. Okay. Same logic. Now I will draw a perpendicular here and a perpendicular here. So this becomes my center. If this angle is theta, this angle becomes 90 minus theta. This angle becomes 90 minus theta. So this angle again becomes 2 theta. But it started from here and it has traveled this arc. This is the arc. So basically in the formula this arc should come. And that arc is 2 pi minus 2 theta. So the formula will change. Q dash equal to 2 pi minus 2 theta multiplied by m divided by dq. Okay. Last question. This is more or less same. This one is very interesting one. If I consider this to be the third question, the fourth question is very interesting. What if I give insufficient length, insufficient magnetic field from both the sides? That means I am giving from here and then I am getting, that means the radius is more than d. What does it mean? It means this magnetic field is over a region of d. And now I am projecting a charge from here, velocity v. Okay? Because of this velocity, by the time it completes the circle, magnetic field is not enough for that. Okay? So what happens? It will go up and will come out like this. So would have been a magnetic field over here. It would have gone like this, made a circle. Okay? Magnetic field over here, complete the circle. But now, no magnetic field. So it's not allowed to take a turn. And then goes up like this. So it moves in an arc from here to here. I'm not able to draw the arc properly. Yeah. Direction needs to be changed. Okay. More or less okay. Right. So this needs to be decorated. Okay. So if I draw, see, remember, whenever you want to find the center, draw the direction of perpendicular to the velocity. So there is one velocity over here, just draw first and then draw over here. This becomes the center. This becomes the center. This is my center. This is my radius r. And what is the formula for radius r? Radius r is equal to mv by dq. This is always there to help you out. Okay. Now, if this will be always given to you as r. Now this angle is theta. I don't know how much is theta. I don't know how much is theta. Okay. So let us say r is theta. So how much is this length? If this is your r, this becomes your r sin theta. This whole thing is r, agree. But if this is my r, this component becomes r. This component becomes r sin theta. R sin theta. And this will become r cos, sorry. This component becomes r cos theta. And this one becomes r sin theta. Okay. Now it started from here and then it is coming out from here. This I am calling as y. Y is the shift. It entered from here and it's come out from here. So this is y. Now look at here how I find this entire thing. How will I find theta first? Now we have to write r sin theta equals to d. Agree? So theta, sin theta will be equal to d by r. Therefore, theta will be equal to sin inverse of d by r. So I know the value of theta. Now I want to know how much is y. Look very carefully at the diagram. Y, what is y? Now remember this whole thing was radius. Radius. This is also radius. This is also radius. This is radius. Radius minus r cos theta is equal to y. So r minus r cos theta is equal to y. So once I get the value of theta, I can put over here and I can get the value of y. Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching.